Hi Virgo, what is happening? Thanks for joining me. 3-card tarot for you guys and for me as well because I enjoy doing it. So I'm with the Tarot in Wonderland deck, all based on the Alice in Wonderland stories with the white rabbit there as well. Okay, I love the images in these. They're not completely au fait with the original tarot images, which are actually only go back 100 years or so. I don't really know, to be honest, but we're looking at the Rider-Waite deck. That was the first really majorly pictorial one that took off around the world and is still in use by a lot of people today, including me. But there we go. I like to keep it interesting, and I do like to be into sort of the new ways that come, and I just love the images in this deck. So Tarot in Wonderland, I've asked for 3 cards please for the sign of Virgo in this reading, which I'm doing in early June 2019, but which isn't time sensitive. None of my readings are. The time to watch this video is the day you're drawn to it, okay? And I guess that's today, whenever that is. So welcome and thank you. First card out of the pack here. It's a major arcana card. It's number 13, and it's the Death card. Now, if you're used to the tarot, you'll know that doesn't mean anybody's going to die, least of all you. And it's not actually about physical death, really. What this card is about is, you see, she's blown a candle out here. And she's brought the situation to an end, and there's great light in the background. So this is actually leading to a better situation, a more truthful situation, because we've got the turquoise colour of speaking your truth in amidst all the healing purples there. So that's really a positive thing to bring something to an end. You know, sometimes you have to close one door in order for the next door to open. One of those things. I've forgotten to plug the microphone in, but there we go. Let's not worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to say, tell me a little bit more about the Death card there, right at the beginning of this reading for the sign of Virgo. Okay, and what we've got is 9 of Swords, right, guys? Now then, in so many ways, this card is about waking up from a nightmare. But it's also telling us kind of, you know, we could do something about this situation, okay? Now, this is really lending it a nightmarish aspect now to the Death card, okay? We can see that we've got the eat me, whatever it is, the eat me thing that she eats, and the drink me thing in the bottle there, and she's obviously eaten and drank them. You could almost say she's taken the red pill in so many ways, except that she's a woman rather than a man going their own way. But, you know, she's taken the red pill, and it's worrying, it's scary when you make those first steps into really being frank and truthful and honest with yourself. So it's given her a lot to think about. And here's Mr. Rabbit here waking up in the middle, or is it? I think, no, it's the hair, sorry, right, you can never really tell when the colours of this start. There is the magical hair, who is a very, very focused character, waking up in the middle of the night because he's so focused he keeps on worrying and worrying and worrying about things, and all these things appear to be hanging over his head. But they're in his mind, really. He could get up and sort out 1 or 2 of those things, maybe. Better to light a candle and sit in darkness, friends. That's what we're saying here. You know, if you're not sleeping, or if you're just kind of worried about a thing all day, the thing to do is do something about it. And that is going to mean snuffing out your troubles and being able to move forward, being able to move on. Okay. So, tell me more. Give me another card of these, the second of this 3-card spread for the sign of Virgo, please. Okay, second card in this 3-card spread for the sign of Virgo, and drop down, and it's the 10 of Wands. And this actually tells us quite a bit more about the other 2 cards. Well, they all do, because they all interrelate. But the 10 of Wands here, we've got the guinea pig, and it is very much an overburdened guinea pig. I feel rather sorry for him. He's just doing too many favours to too many different people at once. You know, if you're ever working really hard, it's tempting to say to send people want more. If you tie a brush to my back, then I'll sweep the floor as I go. You know, it's like that, someone being unreasonably asked to do rather too much. Something which they may very well have agreed to do in the past. Maybe this is you, Virgo. It's fluid energy, applies to so many different people in so many different ways. Wands here, it's fire energy, it's kind of Aries, it's Leo, it's Saggy as well. So we have, with all those, we've got the potential to kind of spring back from things a bit when they get too much. And maybe not spring back here, but really contemplate, think about where things are going. Because the guinea pig, he could manage the wands easily enough, but it's a bit much pushing this thing as well. Or he could manage this, and it's a bit much taking the wands as well. It's just too much has been loaded on there. And very often, Virgo, very often, you and me are tempted to just work super extra hard, just thinking maybe it'll just be 1 or 2 days because we've got to make a thing happen quickly. Because, you know, sometimes you really have to get stuck in and make a thing happen, don't you? But when we do that, you know, we end up really tired, and then we tend to find that we're called upon to do it more and more. So try and keep things reasonable, Virgo. If this is a work situation around you, obviously don't kind of rebel and get yourself sacked, but do be thinking, you know, how could you kind of, in a reasonable way that no one minds, how could you kind of spread your workload out a bit? You know, you could go and talk to the boss. Maybe the boss wants you to do too much to save money, and explain that, you know, actually more money could be made if there were 2 people working on this instead of just you. If this is a love relationship, you know, then think about, you know, the thing that comes up with Doreen Virtue's oracle cards so often. It's like breathing, you know. If you only ever breathe out, then there's no air in. Don't be pouring from an empty vessel, because you're being drawn towards pouring from an empty vessel when this card comes in, Virgo. Okay, so tell me more, please, about this card, the 10 of Wands for the sign of Virgo in this reading. A little bit more on the 10 of Wands, please. Okay, what have we got? We've got is the Knight of Wands. I like this character. Lots of Leo energy in this, if you ask me. Okay, he's a fire sign, so it is Aries. What is it? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the fire signs. One of those, and this has just got to be Leo energy here, hasn't it? Leo energy, I feel, more than a Leo character at this point. When the Knight of Wands comes in, it is very often someone coming in to help. Someone very, very capable, and he's got a kind of strong horse here, and he's riding the horse well. Whenever we get the wands, we're talking about progress in some way, okay? Progress can be speeded up a lot by the Knight of Wands, but you've got to be genuine, guys. This is coming into so many readings this week. It's a crazy world pulling us in opposite directions from the truth all the time. All the time it's trying to pull us that way. Being true to ourselves is really important, and it can still be done, guys. It really can. I'm sure you know that, actually, but maybe you've been pulled away from trying to be really straightforward. Well, the Knight of Wands here is going to be a lot more help if you're straight with yourself, okay? That's what really matters there. And so do be straight with yourself in terms of, have you taken on too much? You may feel you owe people certain things, but if it's wearing you out and you're unhappy like the guinea pig here, then the thing to do is kind of free yourself of some of those ties, because we can get tied down far too much. We really can. Okay. So now then, let's have the last of the 3 cards, please, in the main spread in this reading for the sign of Virgo. Okay, another card, the last card of the 3 card spread for Virgo, please. And we've got the Four of Swords, right? So we're into decisions again, which came up really the first time with the 9 of Swords as the significance for the Death card there. So we're looking at, what is it that's really got to be brought to a close here, brought to an end here. And the 4 of Swords tells you don't try and rush to work it out immediately. The 4 of Swords, this guy's having a well-earned rest here. And although there's kind of swords hanging over them, they seem to be tied up quite well. He's probably dreaming that something could go wrong, but that's because he's been working far too hard, just like the guinea pig, in fact, and just like you, Virgo, if you've been in this situation. So don't be afraid to take a rest, my friends. We need to keep refilling that vessel if we're going to be able to pour from it. Okay, so let's ask, tell me some more, please, about the 4 of Swords in this reading for the sign of Virgo. More, please, about the 4 of Swords. And what we've got is the Ace of Wands is here. Now, this is a really, really positive card, actually. It's not preventing my cards from all trying to fall off the table, but there we go. Nothing ever really prevents that, does it? That's just kind of life and its passage and its journey. Scarves Keep trying to fall off, cards keep trying to fall out. That's the way of it. But the Ace of Wands is here to tell us more about the Four of Swords. Now look at the positive thinking in this. Again, it's wands. It's about our ability to bring about transformation and to get things moving as well. It's about progress. Progress may be slow. I'm not saying there's fast progress here, but there's a fabulous idea lighting up the sky here. And so fast progress is going to be possible. It's just going to take a bit of a think. And that card came out as significance for the Four of Swords here. Yeah, so this is again telling us no bad thing to take a rest, because we want to wake up fresh for this amazing blazing candle to carry us off into the future. Okay, now I feel I haven't quite 100% hit the spot here, so I'm going to ask for a significator card, please, and then we'll have a quick look around at what it says at the other cards in the reading. Okay, we have a significator card, please, in this reading for the sign of Virgo, which I'm doing in 2019, but people are watching it when they're watching it. Okay, more please for the sign of Virgo in this reading. Oh, right, the Chariot. The Chariot. Well, let's just go to the original kind of tarot meaning for the Chariot here. In the more traditional images, you'll see someone in the chariot, usually which has stone wheels and can't physically go anywhere, but which is being pulled by sphinxes, showing that it's a spiritual journey. So the spiritual journey is strongly indicated here, and that really is the case when we get the Death card, because that means that the change that's coming in may be material, may be spiritual. It depends who you are, guys. Fluid energy. I'm always saying it, and I've said it again. I should get a t-shirt or a sign or something saying fluid energy, but that's what it is. But the Death card here, when we see that in spiritual terms, that really is going to allow us to move forward in a much more free way. And we have to do that, yeah, remember, in terms of the Nine of Swords here. It's not about getting everything fixed. It's about doing something. It's about better to light a candle and sit in darkness. And she's blown the candle out here. And that's only because new candles are going to be lit, okay? But look, in this card, it's 7 from the Major Arcana. She's trying very hard to play a game of hockey, but she hasn't got a proper hockey stick. She hasn't got a proper hockey puck. Instead, she's got a hedgehog and an upside down flamingo. And she's a very gentle character. I don't think she's going to try and actually hit the hedgehog with the flamingo. But that's all they've given her, and she can't really do it. Okay, this is why change is needed, Virgo. This is really, really strongly why the change is needed, because you're just not equipped for what you're trying to manifest at the moment. But a good rest is going to do you the power of good. Everywhere I look in this seems to come back to the Four of Swords and just needing that rest, because everything else is about lack of clarity and being genuine, you know, as well. But we're much more true in ourselves. We're much more true to ourselves when we've had that bit of a rest. Okay, because we do want the right tools for the job. Going on a spiritual journey like the one that's coming up, Virgo, is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back soon with yet more readings. Give me a thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment. We will share the journey. Share me around the internet if you possibly can. I'll say it again. Thanks for watching. Have a great week of it, Virgo, or whenever it is you're watching this, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.